So here's some creepy TikToks, man, that'll make you question your reality. Let's check them out.
The civilizations before us were not a bunch of dummies and hunter-gatherers. This explains the pyramids a little bit better.
When were the pyramids supposedly built?
All different times. But there's a set of pyramids around the world that date back before our most recent cataclysm, which is like apocalypse. So dating, I think it's like 10,000 BC was our last apocalypse. There was a big ice age for a long time. This ancient civilization lived through the ice age. They were smart enough to handle the ice age. When the ice age started to reverse, there was huge tsunamis, and that's what wiped out the ancient civilization. The civilizations before us.
So they survived the ice age, but couldn't figure out a tsunami. Listen, I ain't trying to say I don't agree with him. I mean, he's wrong or anything like that, but I'm just like, dang, how you survive an ice age, bro? We've always been told, and maybe that's the problem right there. Me saying we've always been told, maybe that's the problem. But we've always been led to believe that there's no way we could have survived. So I'm thinking if they survived an ice age, then they're still here. They got to be still here somewhere. Maybe the whole the core of the Earth theory and all of that type of stuff like that reigns true. Possibly they figured out a way to, you know what I mean, survive that. I just don't. If they survived, I just don't see a tsunami taking them out, bro. I see them figuring out a way.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
The ancient civilizations on Earth were far more advanced than we're being told, and that one of them possibly even thrived before our oceans even existed. Stay with me. In the spring of 2013, a gentleman was sailing his yacht around the Azores Islands, an autonomous region of Portugal, when he discovered a large pyramid underwater. They would find that this architectural marvel was 60 feet tall and bigger around than a football field. So naturally, I had to dig deeper, and as I did, I kept seeing pictures of it circled on Google Earth. And of course, I had to go find it for myself. It's right here. But as I was checking it out, I thought to myself, well, where there's one, there's got to be more, right?
True.
Well, look right above it. 1, 2. 2 more pyramids. From there, it was over. I was up all night, scanning the entire ocean floor. And what I found absolutely blew my mind. That there were large clusters of what could be potential pyramids at the depths of the ocean all over the world. And I mean thousands of them. Do you see it? As I was scanning the ocean floor the other night, I spotted this. So I zoomed in on it. To me, it looks just like the statues of giants from Easter Island. Then I spotted another face right next to it, surrounded by idols. Check them out. Look at that one's definitive. There's another one. But the most interesting part, the statues I found were just north of Hawaii, over 4,000 miles away from Easter Island. But I wanted more evidence, so I went back to Easter Island and checked around it. Notice these circular structures. A number of them, blurred out. And sure enough, blurred out, another one, another one, another one. They're a circular structure with a peak at the top. So I came to the conclusion that this civilization of people existed here and north of Hawaii. So I thought to myself, they had to travel to get there. What path did they take? So after coming to the conclusion that the same people that lived on Easter Island also lived north of Hawaii, I figured they must have traveled to get there. So I looked closely and look at this. The path heads west and north. Not only that, they actually had a path going from Easter Island back to South America. You can literally see the beaten path going to the land.
Wow.
Then I quickly noticed that looks like around the area of Peru. And that's when my light bulb just went off. If you didn't know this, Paracas, Peru is where Julio Tello in 1928 discovered over 300 elongated skulls on a desert peninsula. So I bet you know what I did next. Paracas, Peru. What a coincidence. Straight to it. The elongated skull people of Paracas, Peru were probably behind the pyramids and the large idols. Oh, and one last thing. Don't their statues kind of resemble something found on Mars?
What's a conspiracy theory that you
First of all, bro, get you some sleep. He needs to get him some sleep, bro. I think bro is probably still awake researching that stuff, man. And he is most definitely, listen, I know I try to go to the depths and go down rabbit holes and find and research and look for things, but he is so far beyond me. Like, I salute what he doing, man, but he better put some cameras outside his door, man. That way he can catch anybody trying to walk up, because they may be coming to knock on his door pretty soon. I don't know. That's crazy. And then he found those pyramids, right? And I'm looking at those pyramids, and you know what I'm thinking too as well? Underwater cities, like cities that could be underwater. Huh? I so much want to stick my whole entire eye to the lens so I can look at y'all, man. Listen, bro, possibly underwater cities. What's one thing they constantly feed us, information-wise, about the ocean? That only a small percentage of it is discovered, right? But it's been years we've been saying that same thing. And sometimes I feel like, are they lying to us about that? What are they trying to keep from us? He is most definitely on to something, bro. He locked in like a dog to a bone, fam. He just sank his teeth in and went to researching and discovering things, fam. I'm telling you, bro, people are getting unplugged every single day.
If you look at the Romans, go back 2,000 years ago to today, what an insane amount of progress. So if these anatomical human beings existed 200,000 years ago, what if they developed something on a totally different path, just developed it to this level that we can't possibly comprehend? What if they had 10, 20,000 years to do that? That's likely what we're looking at when we look at the structures in Egypt. If you would imagine that those people had been given enough time, whether it's 20,000, 30,000 years, to evolve these technologies, and then boom, hit by giant rocks from the sky and millions of people are killed. The people that are left live a barbaric existence for thousands of years and then relearn civilization, and it starts from scratch. That's what Graham Hancock is talking about.
Yeah.
If you look at
Who's to say they didn't, though? Who's to say they didn't make it that far? What if we go back? And that's why I say, man, having a time machine is going to be paramount. We're gonna really need one, because we could very well hop in a time machine, go back and see them with electric vehicles, flying cars. You know what I mean? AI, robots going on back then. Like, it could be a whole situation back then. And then they got hit and wiped off. Or either, if you're of the theory they're still here, they're just living in secrecy, we can say that too, okay? We can try to figure that out. But what if they were just wiped out? And everything that they went was destroyed. And we're finding the remnants of it. And the only thing we've found so far is stuff to make them look dated. Things that make them look extremely outdated. That's what we're finding. We haven't even gotten down to the level of finding the robots and different things like that, man. Like, I don't know why, but I strongly believe that they were so far ahead of us, bro. Like, this is interesting.
The Aramumuru Gateway, also known as the Puerta de Hayumarca, is a stone portal located near the shores of Lake Titicaca in the Hayumarca Stone Forest, also known as the City of the Gods, in Peru. The portal is cut into the side of a red granite crest, rising from the dry soil of the Altiplano, and is 7 meters high and 7 meters wide, with a T-shaped alcove in the bottom middle. The surface of the portal is polished, and the alcove is some 2 meters high, just enough for a person to fit inside. In the center of the alcove is a smaller depression. There are no clear historical records of when the Aramumuru Gateway was made or who made it, but it is believed to predate the Incas, and no archaeological research has been conducted on the site. Similar landmarks in the Americas are scarce, but Aramumuru has some principal similarities to unfinished rock-cut architecture in India. According to local legends, the portal leads to the spirit world, or even to the world of the gods. Some believe that the gateway was made in the distant past, and great heroes could pass through it and join the pantheon of gods. Other legends tell that the gate was open for a while in the 16th century, when Spanish conquistadors were looting immense treasures in Cusco City and slaughtering local people. The most valuable relics, golden discs with powerful healing abilities, were located in the Inca temple in Coricancha. 2 of these discs were seized by the Spaniards, but the third and largest one disappeared without a trace. One legend tells the story of Aramu Muru, a priest of Coricancha temple, who managed to escape the deadly havoc in Cusco.
So how do you open it? You got to be a hero or whatever? I don't know, man. And what's strange about this place right here, I've seen this before, but I've also seen this in my dream before. And I never really knew or understood what it meant. You know what I mean? I recall seeing something like this in a dream. And now that it's replaying in front of me, is giving me the most strange case of deja vu. I've seen that in a dream. Now, I couldn't tell you if I opened it or I didn't open it, or even if I even paid attention to it. But I do recall it being in my dream. That's weird beyond belief to me right now. What does that mean? Am I the person that can open that door? Or is something behind that can help me? Is it answers to questions that I have behind that door? I got so many different things going through my brain right now every time I look over at it. That's beyond weird to me. Let's keep going.
So in Syria, there's a site called Ain Dara. Not only is it unlike anything else in that region, but before we were able to even study it, the Turkish government destroyed it in 2018 as an accident, they state. Now, what's so crazy about this place is that when they first discovered it, they found this multi-ton massive basalt lion. They realized that the entire temple was built out of basalt. And as far as they know, there's very few places in the world that you can even see that, because basalt is so hard. It's such a hard material to work with, but it mimics the same use of basalt that we find at the Lake Von Ararat civilization. With Kavis Tepe and Kefkalesi, they only use basalt there. So it's interesting that we're finding the same lion depictions and the same depictions from that region all of a sudden that we are here, showing you evidence of the way they went. Basically, if you imagine that these sons and these sages, these creators of these civilizations are creating something and they're moving on. So in Syria...
So why would they destroy it though? And then why when I hear basalt, I think of volcanoes. I think I heard somebody give a lesson on basalts or something to do with volcano. For some reason, that's in my mind, and that's what I'm associating it with. But I'm gonna have to check that out. But why would they destroy that though? What are they? Don't they want us to know, or are they afraid of something, or are afraid of us knowing something? See, anytime they do something like that, I'm very skeptical, and I sit back and I'm like, why? You were in a rush to destroy that type of history. Anything like that, we normally try to do everything to preserve, but you destroyed it? Yeah. I don't think that. I gotta look into these basalt carvings though and see what's that about, the basalt stone carvings, stuff like that. Look them up too. Let's compare notes, y'all.
History has been lying to us. There was a civilization called the Tartaria Empire that was far superior and more sophisticated than we could ever imagine. They were able to use the atmospheric energy to obtain electricity, and by having free energy, they were able to focus on more pressing and more important endeavors, such as creativity, love, and self-development. Their advancements influenced great feats and built vast cities and infrastructure all over the world. However, due to the rise in the influence of the civilization, it was said that they were systematically destroyed, with their buildings knocked down and technological advancements erased from our history books by oppressors to keep us all enslaved and in check. That's why many people say that history has been lying to us.
Again, a form of controlling us, not letting us know our history, them destroying and messing things up for us, keeping things from us. It's the why. I need that why, man. I need that why. I feel like now my whole entire life is consumed in that why. Why? we keep hearing these stories of them being super intelligent and advanced. I want to know why, how, where did they obtain this information and knowledge? How far did they go? This even gives more credit to Nikola Tesla. Like, you know what I mean? Now he doesn't just look like this standout. This was the norm back then. He doesn't look like, you know what I mean? We find that information out. Maybe they don't want us to know that because they want Tesla to be a standout. I don't know. At this point, I'm grasping at straws. You know what I mean? Help me out. Throw me a lifeline. Somebody. But what if they want us to just look at Tesla and not think, well, back then that was ordinary. A lot of people had those inventions and ideas and different things like that, but he was the only one propelled and pushed to the forefront for some reason. So you start looking at history different, man.
I got more Egypt news for you. New York University's Institute for the Study of the Ancient World have discovered around 2,000 mummified ram heads. These ram heads date to the Ptolemaic Greek period of ancient Egypt and were found alongside mummified ewes, dogs, wild goats, cows, gazelles, and even mongooses. These were found in the ancient city of Abydos in the temple of Ramses II, and we think that these mummified heads and mummified remains are meant to be votives for Ramses II, which is kind of insane because this is about 1,000 years after Ramses II's death. Honestly, what's even cooler is that they actually were able to find a large palatial structure with 5-meter thick walls, and this dates to the Old Kingdom, so thousands of years before Ramses II. They also found statues, papyri, ancient tree remains, and leather garments and shoes. This shows us what Abydos was like before Ramses II. I got more Egypt news for you.
So they're using those as sacrifices? That's a lot. That's a lot. To them, that probably wasn't that many, but me looking at that right now, I'm like, man, that's a lot of sacrifices to the gods. For what reasons, though? Now, what did they do with the rest? Did they sacrifice just that, and the rest of the body was for human consumption, for food and stuff like that? I would like to think so. I did all this work, did all of this to sacrifice to this. I'm eating the rest of it. you know how you do a whole bunch of work and do everything that you think you're supposed to do. You're like, well, that part is for us. We're gonna eat off of that for a while. Sheesh. I mean, honestly, like, that's a lot. And this is just a zoomed in. When you zoom out, it was a lot of them they found. They were sacrificing a lot.
The Mayans never disappeared. The ancient civilization of the Maya is one of the most fascinating and mysterious civilizations in history. Their remarkable and sophisticated culture, known for their awe-inspiring architectural wonders, built with machine-like accuracy in a time where spears and arrows were used to hunt, such as towering pyramids, sprawling cities and temples. They also developed one of the most complex writing systems of any ancient civilization, which allowed them to record their history, religious beliefs, and astronomical observations with great precision. They also made significant advances in mathematics and astronomy, creating calendars that were more accurate than those of many other ancient cultures. Many have wondered how they acquired such knowledge in such a short time. What if the Mayans were given access to otherworldly technology by beings we call gods? And what if they are still alive and thriving in the modern world? So what if the Mayans...
They got to answer me that question. What happened with their calendar? Because growing up, everything I was told was associated to the Mayan calendar. When I heard about the Mayans, it was about the Mayan calendar. You know what I mean? What was that, Y2K or whatever? We wouldn't make it past something like that, 2000s. It was something like that. It had everybody nervous because of the Mayan calendars. I remember that as a kid, being nervous around that time. You know what I mean? That would be my first question to them. What was supposed to happen? What was supposed to happen on 2000? Why y'all had us go out and clear all the shelves of water and meat and canned goods and toilet tissue. You know the toilet tissue always go out. Nobody can never find toilet tissue, bro. You know what I mean? If something ever happens, fam, there's gonna be a lot of dirty shirts because y'all hoard up all the toilet tissue, and not everybody's gonna have some. Y'all don't try to spare nothing for nobody though. But yeah, that would be my question. That would be my question for the Mayans, man. What happened with the calendar? You know what I mean? And what brought y'all to that point? Why did y'all choose that specific year? What did y'all see to make y'all believe that was the end? That's my question.
So a couple weeks ago, I made a viral video claiming that I may have found a bunch of underwater pyramids all over the ocean floors. I made this claim after the discovery of an underwater pyramid near the Azores Islands off Portugal. Here's the pyramid on Google Earth. So naturally, I thought if there's one, there must be more, and I found one here and here. And if you look nearby, you can find a bunch more. So as the post currently sits at 10 million views, the comments have been interesting to say the least. The most common claim is that it's underwater volcanoes created by the tectonic plates. And I understand there are underwater volcanoes, but this many? Come on. But okay, I took it into consideration and looked into it. And here's what I found. This is the ocean floor near Easter Island. If you take a good look, you'll notice these. They're perfectly round structures with an almost pyramidal shape at the top. Above is a closer look. They're dome-shaped and all over the ocean floor. I even found them near Hawaii, part 2. So a couple weeks ago,
again, to me, those little dome shapes look like underwater cities, bro. I can understand why people would say underwater volcanoes. To some people, that's all they know. That's all they've been told about. They ain't even think about that. So when they hear new information or something, they give pushback. They're skeptical. That's cool. That's the way we're trained to be. Sorry. But yeah, I still think possibly also, along with what he's saying as far as pyramids and things like that, they could be underwater cities. And what if that's where they're hiding, or that's where the civilizations are that we've been currently looking for? Right there in the ocean, underground cities, underwater cities. Well, I keep saying underground. Underwater cities.
Hey, want to hear about something really cool, but it's going to make you really mad as soon as I finish where I'm going with this? Great, because I've got a lot. So, in ancient Greek times, in modern-day Libya, there was a place where this plant grew, and this plant was a 100% effective birth control. 100% effective, 0 side effects, and people just like ate it on food because it tasted really good. Well, it got so popular in ancient Greece that it went extinct! Extinct! Completely gone, and it only grew in this one piece of Libya, and it's gone! All attempts to grow it elsewhere have failed. 100% effective. So, thank you, ancient people! Hey, want to hear about something?
Hey, that's crazy, because I know a lot of people was like sitting here just on the edge of their seat trying to just tell me where it's at. You ain't even gotta tell me where it's at. Just tell me where it's in the vicinity of. I'll swim there, even if it's across the if it's across the ocean somewhere over in another country or something like that on another continent. I'll swim there to get it. Yo, she had so many people wanting to know if they could go find this plant right now. I've never heard of this, bro. But imagine a plant that was 100% proven as to be birth control. Holy. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, would I be here? Will my parents even want me? If my parents would have had this plant, would I even be here? Don't ask your parents that if your parents are still around. I don't want y'all to hear the shocking and daunting truth. You know what I mean? Some of us were accidents. You know, we're not supposed to be here, bro. So you don't need to hear it. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Hey you guys, so a weird crazy thing happened to me and I just wanted to share it with you guys. You might not believe me, but I don't care, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I woke up this morning like feeling really sad and thinking about death and my family members passing away, and I'm crying and crying and crying so much that I call my mom, right? And I'm like, Mom, I don't feel good. Like, I feel bad. I don't know what I'm going to do if anybody passes away and this and that. And I didn't know why I was like so focused on death. Come to find out, a couple minutes later, they announced that Queen Elizabeth died today. What is September 8th, 2022. So, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it's a shock that she, I don't want to say finally passed away because she was old, 92, but my grandfather was 102. So she wasn't that old compared to Santiago's. But, yeah, what? I'm like really, really, really connected with the collective. I am. And I thank God for that because it is truly a blessing. Even though I was crying this morning, now looking back, I'm like, was that just the way that I was just filtering that in or something? I don't know. And then my Groot shirt, you guys know Groot is Puerto Rican, right? And I didn't wear this on purpose. This just all happens coincidentally. But we all know there are no coincidences in the things of the Lord. Anyways, it's been 2 minutes. I gotta go.
She scares me. She scares me. Her mood started off very like down and out, remorseful, like sad. And then it all changed to happiness in the midst of talking about death and different things like that. Did y'all notice that slow change from sadness to happiness and joyful? And that was a little weird for me. Second thing, ladies, y'all's women intuition needs to be removed from y'all body, studied and tested. I swear it does. I swear it does. That whole intuition y'all had, it's scary. Y'all are, if there's any aliens out there, it's y'all. That woman's intuition proves it. It proves that y'all are not from here, man. Y'all are from somewhere else, man. And she just showed it, gave another example of it right there. If I was her, I would never go to sleep again. If you woke up and had that feeling and then something turned around and happened, yeah, I'd be afraid to go to sleep again. So I would think I had something to do with that because I saw it first. Nope, no thank you. Y'all are aliens. I'm done with this video, man. Listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you think. And stick around and stay tuned, man. So next one, I'm gone. Peace.